just before 1 p.m. We're still in camp and we're about to head out for our next hike. This one's gonna be a bigger one, pretty much around 10 miles. We're gonna start here at the campground, make our way up Scorpion Canyon right here, and then continue to the Montañon Ridge, if that's pronounced correctly. That should bring us up to about 1,800 feet. And then
we're either we'll come up here and then we'll either come back down and go like around this way, like back to Potato Harbor, like where we just were, or we'll just turn around and go backtrack back to the camp. So.
Yeah, we'll make a game time decision. Alrighty, we're starting our hike. We have 3.6 miles to Montañon Ridge. Don't quote us on the pronunciation here, but basically up the main ridge here. You can take this trail to Potato Harbor. It's like the inland trail compared to the one that we did, but we're just continuing on straight through the valley here. Right here. It's kind of hard to tell, but you continue on here. This is the trail, the Scorpion Canyon Loop. We're just gonna make our way through Scorpion Canyon. Kinley's leading the way. Also, it's kind of cool to see up here you have like the upper camping lot. It's all like the group camping, probably group sizes starting at 10, 12 people. The valley down here is beautiful though, like all the green. We also saw some wildflowers earlier. That was cool. Right now it's still super flat, which makes it kind of scary for what's to come. But I mean, we can already tell we're definitely going to be climbing pretty soon. We're about a mile in and it looks like we're about to start climbing. So far we barely had any elevation, but I can see a little uphill segment coming here. I mean, at some point we'll have to start climbing to get up there. Yeah, it's really pretty with the snow over here and then all the thick brush over here. We're about to start climbing. There's another sign coming up, so we'll check that out. But I mean, just as you can tell, absolutely beautiful day. The sun is out, perfect temperature. I think like in the 70s probably. We are just enjoying our day hike out. And we have 2.7 miles to the mountain ridge. Well, one thing we were wondering about is ridge. Usually, for us at least, it means like a stretch, like the stretch on top of the mountain. So we're wondering if are we gonna get to the beginning of the ridge with the 2.6 miles, or like the top of the mountain, like the highest point. But I guess we'll see. It's definitely getting pretty steep right here. So cool. About a mile in, you'll reach that bottom end right there, and then start climbing, and then just make your way around here and all the way up to here. And we're continuing on.
Can I go around now?
Oh, there's two.
Can I go around? Can we pass? Okay, thank you.
Quarter of a mile after you start climbing, the trail evens out a little bit, at least until the next climb starts. But yeah, that first quarter of a mile was about like 300 feet of elevation, so about 1/6 of what's to come. You can see the trail continuing right here, up here, and then up that ridge line, and then we're probably just gonna follow the ridge all the way to the top. Exciting. About 1.5 miles in, start climbing again, and the trail becomes pretty technical, I would say. Super steep. What would you say? Very technical? Highly technical. Kinley's saying highly technical. But yeah, you definitely start climbing. Yeah, we always run into the same issue. We find ourselves speed hiking, power hiking, running up the hill, so we really got to slow down the pace.
We're not doing a trail race, we're doing a fun hike, so we have to
remember just to take in the scenery, enjoy just the beautiful views. We're getting closer. Doesn't look too bad.
Honestly, no. I mean, we were like all the way down there. So
I know.
It didn't really take us that long.
We're like 1.6 miles in with 581 feet of elevation. So that should be 1,800 feet of elevation, so we definitely still have some to go. All right, quick look at the map. We made our way from the campground up Scorpion Canyon, and we're at this intersection right now. So from here you could continue on Smuggler's Road to Smuggler's Cove, which is what we're going to do tomorrow. But for now we're just going to continue to the ridge and the mountaintop. Let's continue. About 2.2 miles in. It's kind of cool to see these trees over here. You can see, I mean, they're pretty short because of the wind. They're like on the side that is not in the wind. So at least there, trees are able to grow. So it's pretty cool to see them over there, especially at elevation or higher elevation. And yeah, we're continuing our way up, just climbing. And I mean, we started all the way back there. You can barely see it, but we've definitely made it pretty far. Yeah, the terrain here gets kind of cool. It's like this, like red rock, I guess.
Yeah, super rocky, and so you gotta be cautious of loose rocks and gravel.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to stay on a trail here, to be honest, because it's not that clear where the trail is going, but we should be still on it, so we're just gonna continue our way up. .3 miles in, we are almost at the top right here. We're just continuing up the trail, still red sandstone, I would say. Yeah, the views are just amazing, like 360 degrees pretty much. Well, maybe not yet. Up there will be 360 degree views, but like all around. Yeah, like as we said before, the terrain here, super rocky. Definitely watch your step. It's definitely pretty cool. Like the red always looks very cool, to be honest. Always fun to climb up. And yeah, probably have another half mile maximum to the top. Also, it's kind of cool, now that we're in the end of March, a lot of things are blooming, as you can see. Earlier we saw beautiful like yellow, white wildflowers. Now we see these like bushes here blooming. It just adds to the amazing views. So this right here is where things get tricky. As you can see, the trail looks like it could continue straight here. There's also this right here. We'll probably continue to the right just because it makes sense and leads us to the top. That's like one of the reasons why the National Park Services recommend taking a topographical map with you when you make it up here. Because as you can see, the trail is not really maintained. That's what the dashed line in the map stands for. And yeah, we should be good. We're taking our chances with this one. Correction, we're gonna take the other one. But I mean, we double checked the maps. We think this one is the correct one, but I guess we'll see in like quarter of a mile if we're still on the trail or not. Yeah, it looks like the other option would have just cut right through the middle here and ended up back on this trail, so not that big of a deal, but still it can get quite confusing, and you definitely don't want to get lost up here. Yeah, we're almost at the top. Should be right there.
Maybe.
I don't know, I'm confused. There's this ridge line right here.
I feel like we still have like a mile. But
Do you think we're gonna go on this ridge line? No.
I think so.
That would be cool.
We're at 2.5. It was supposed to be 3.6 from the campground.
Yeah.
Something like that. So like we still have like a mile. And like probably like 600 more feet of elevation. So
We'll see.
yeah.
We'll see. We are 2.85 miles in. Trail looks really cool. You basically come over this ridgeline right here, and then as you can see, there's a trail that leads all the way over here. The question for us is, are we going to take that one, or are we actually going to continue back down to Potato Harbor? This doesn't look like it. Yeah, that's crazy. Now we're up here. So we're definitely going to continue over here on the trail, climb up, and then we'll see up there if that's the split where you can continue on the ridgeline or continue down towards Potato Harbor. So far, as I said, 2.87 miles in, 1 hour 20 minutes, and we climbed about 1,500 feet. So should be almost at the end of the climbing.
Although it's not the best time. Although it's not the best time.
Yeah, Kinley is right. It's kind of crazy to see how far we've climbed, like all the way from the water to up here. It's just insane how far we can climb. And just
amazing. It's a beautiful day out here too. It's like the perfect hiking weather, and like we've passed like maybe like 5 people. Like maybe like 2 groups of people this entire time on this trail. So it's really amazing and quiet.
Very pretty. And then yeah, that down there where you can see it kind of lighten up right here might be Potato Harbor. So we're guessing we're just going to continue up here and then loop back around. Let's see. Yeah, the drop right here, insane. Come all the way from down there. And now we're continuing over here. This next segment looks like it's pretty steep, as you can see, but it should be the last steep segment before we get across the ridge. Yeah, definitely a pretty good climb right here. That's the split of the trail right over there. So here is where things get interesting. Aside from the great view, we came from down here. As you can see, Scorpion Pier is where we came from. You can continue to Prisoners Harbor this way, and then Potato Harbor this way. We're gonna continue to Potato Harbor, right up here.
Yeah, I think you can see, so Prisoners Harbor is on that side of the island.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's it right there, but
Yeah.
you can kind of see the trail.
Yeah, it's like all the way back there. Pretty cool. All right, let's continue. We are about like right here somewhere after this intersection right now. And we're making our way to Coach Point.
And then back to Potato Harbor.
Yeah, that looks like Coach Point. Then we're probably gonna drop down to Potato Harbor after that. Yeah, as before, the trail is fairly technical, if not to say very technical. But yeah, definitely a lot of fun. Down here is all the way around that ridge right there is where we started. Should be Scorpion Canyon right behind us. And then all the way back there you can see Potato Harbor. Some of these segments, like the one right behind us, you got to be more careful on. They're pretty steep and pretty rocky terrain, so make sure you find good footing and also use your hand as a third point of contact. Every time we make it around or up another mountaintop, there is another one coming. It's kind of crazy. There's another one right behind here. Like we didn't see this one from back there. So this could be the point. Yeah, Kinley already made it all the way up. The trail is kind of insane. As you can see behind us, you're just traversing this ridgeline right here. So much fun, but you definitely got to be careful. Also, I'm realizing, even though I put on sunscreen before we left, definitely feeling the sun in my face. Hopefully the sunburn is not going to be too bad. But I mean, just look at that view. Absolutely insane view. And we're almost at the top. came from all the way back there, made our way down, back up, and then around right here. Now, final push all the way up here. Yeah, finally some shade. The sun was definitely beaming down back there. As you can see, all of this is just exposed to the sun.
A majority, almost all of it is.
Yeah. So it feels super nice when you have like a short segment in the shade. Beautiful view of the water. Insane drop right here. What more can you ask for? We're gonna take a little break right here. Fuel up a little bit, drink a little bit of water, maybe some snacks.
Maybe.
But yeah, we can see Potato Harbor through the trees just right here. So we're gonna make it all the way back down there and then take it along the waterfront or the trail that's more inland. We don't know yet, but basically make it all the way to the campground. Let's see what mileage we end up with. Right now, we are 1,600 feet of elevation in at 1 hour, 51 minutes with 3.6 miles. Yeah, this right here through the trees, you can kind of see it, is like basically the runoff, or I assume what turns into a runoff when it rains here. The trail that we took to get to the start of this trail. 10-minute break, and we're back on the road. The trail definitely continues here, but there's this whole thing. So we're definitely checking it out since we think it leads up to basically the top of this. Yeah, this is really cool. Here you have the 360-degree views. Like, just look at the water, mountains, and the trail we came from.
And me.
And Kinley. And we're continuing back down here. This little detour is definitely worth it. Here you can also see the trail that we're going to take along the ridgeline right here, all the way back down.
Although it's not the last time. Although it's not the last time.
Yeah, Kinley just mentioned it. With all the loose gravel on the trail, it's pretty much just as slow going down as it was going up. You definitely got to be careful not to slide, because it is very steep here and you don't want to fall like off the side of the ridge. Absolutely beautiful. Sun is out. Couldn't ask for a better day. We're just enjoying our time. Also, we're 3.75 miles in. Another thing to mention is be sure to bring enough water. The only place you can get fresh water is at the campground. Obviously no access to any drinking water on the trail, and there isn't any like fresh water, rivers, runoffs, etc. So be sure to take enough water with you. Absolutely stunning views. Here, the trail, as we came from right here, takes a right and continues its way to weave back down. Yeah, it's kind of cool. You can see like a trail right back there, and Kinley was wondering which one it is.
It's this harbor.
Chinese harbor?
Yeah, so that's the trail that we're seeing.
Okay. So that's the Chinese Harbor Road trail.
So you would have to hike like all the way around this way.
Yeah. Basically where we took a right to go to Potato Harbor, you would continue on up the ridge and then just continue until you hit Chinese Harbor Road and then down.
Down. It looks like a really pretty beach access.
Yeah, very pretty beach.
Especially if you're like camping over at the Prisoners Harbor, the Del Norte camp.
Yeah, that's true. From the Scorpion Harbor, it would be probably about like a 20-mile hike there and back though.
Yeah, that would be a big day hike. So not in the cards for us today. It's pretty from here. 4
miles in, 2 hours, 20 minutes. We're just taking it super slow, taking in the scenery, taking as many breaks as we want. Right now, we're on this flatter downhill segment. As you can see, we came over here and then actually we came from all the way back there, up here, down, back over, and continued our way down. And yeah, now we just have this long, flatter segment. Honestly, feels pretty good. Kinley was saying it earlier. Oftentimes the downhill segments don't really feel better than the uphill segments, especially on your knees. But yeah, we're definitely making some progress on the way down. And yeah, just absolutely insane views. How could you not love this? Yeah, so we're still on a flatter segment, but slowly making our way downhill. We were just talking about how right now we're at 4.52 miles and we're nearing Potato Harbor. At least that's what it seems like. The trail total was in the map with like 10 miles. So I don't think we're going to be anywhere close to 10 miles, but we were talking probably around 7.5 to 8 miles. Let's see where we actually end up, but I highly doubt we'll get to 10. Yeah, we're making our way towards Potato Harbor right there. As you can see, my hand got a little bit of sun. We're getting closer and closer to Potato Harbor.
What's your favorite type of potato?
Like
Let us
form?
know.
Form?
Yeah, well, form and like variety of potato.
Okay, let us know in the comments. We're still going strong. Just cool to see where we came from. Basically all the way around down here. And now we want to make it all the way to the bottom to Potato Harbor back here. We're 5.25 miles in. And yeah, 2 hours, 15 minutes in. Yeah, as you can see, we're gonna make our way up here and then probably make our way back on this ridge to get to Potato Harbor. And then we can continue to the campground. There's another ferry coming in. A little fox. That's pretty cool.
That's the first one that we haven't seen that's at the campsite.
Yeah, we have a domesticated fox.
Yeah, they're sneaky.
You gotta be careful at the campground. Always keep your food and everything else safe.
Yeah, the storage unit, this food storage bin is not for bears like usual. It's for the foxes.
And the ravens. Mile 6. We made it all the way back down to where we were before. Potato Harbor is right over there. And yeah, we were at this exact spot earlier. We're gonna continue back to the campground, 1.5 miles from here. This time we're gonna take the trail that's like inland that we talked about before, since we've done the one that is like right on the water, like basically out and back earlier. So you can just look at that one if you want to check that one out. And yeah, this time we're gonna check out the inland one. One last look at what we've what we've done today. The ridgeline all the way over here and then loop back over here. Now we're on the last like 1.5 miles from the intersection over there, so we probably got about like 1.2 miles left. Absolutely amazing hike. Actually, it's time for our rating of this hike now. As always, we have the 3 categories: views, difficulty, and overall. And we're rating out of 5 possible points or stars. Let's start with the views category. How many stars out of 5 do you give this trail?
I'm gonna give it a 4.7 because we right when you get to the island, I mean, it was already really amazing, like the boat ride over and seeing the whales and the dolphins and all the wildlife. And then once you get on the trail, it's amazing cliffside views of the ocean and the water, and it's really pretty.
Yeah, I agree. For me, it's a 4.5. Absolutely stunning views. Can't really get much better than that. The trail is also really cool. Like, you can see both sides of the island, and yeah, you have insane 360-degree views of the whole island from some parts. So really cool.
Yeah.
Now on to the difficulty rating. What do you rate this trail?
I'm gonna give it a 4, I think. Because like there's like the part like on the other side, like the beginning of this trail, was pretty strenuous and kind of like very technical with like the rocks and everything. Just like it's a lot of loose gravel and loose rocks and like pretty steep climbs, I would say.
Yeah.
Distance wise, it's not too terrible, and elevation wise, it's not too terrible, but just because of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's a 4 for me as well. For those reasons, pretty technical in most areas, especially climbing and coming back down. But yeah, it's not very long. Like we're probably gonna end up with like 7.5 miles. So not that long, and therefore a 4 and not a 5. Now to the overall. What do you think for the overall rating?
I'm gonna give it a 4 for overall, just because you're on an island. Like I feel like it's just like a part of the experience of being like you're on an island, doing a hike on an island, so you're just constantly looking at ocean views, which is just so pretty and gorgeous. And I think we're both really looking forward to the camping part of this trip too. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this trip a 4.
Yeah, for me it's a 4.5 overall. This completes our ratings.
Bye.
Right here, 6.5 miles in, we have the split. As you can see, you can take the lower or like the shoreside or the inland trail. Earlier we were on the shoreside trail out and back, and now we're taking the inland trail. You can see the campgrounds in the distance, at least the group campground. So that's not far from ours. We made it back down to the first campground, and now it's just like 0.1 miles basically to our campsite. 7.6 miles total, 3 hours 45 minutes, and we made it back to the campground. Absolutely stunning hike, beautiful views, and yeah, now we're ready for dinner.